Okay, we are live, and I will call this meeting to order with all of us here.
Pan around. Here's
Ramey's,
Yep.
yay! We have another attendee.
two.
Well, these are the two future officers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so first, welcome.
Thanks.
So first thing, we'll approve the March minutes. And there's one more copy if anybody needs a copy of the March minutes. Does anyone have any corrections to the March minutes? They are available on the website.
I think you emailed them out and I did a
Yeah, at the beginning.
And nothing,
Yeah.
I think O'Brien is spelled wrong, but other than that, I think there's a
I
capital
might
B.
have.
Okay.
What's that?
It's a capital B.
Oh yeah,
and
I fixed it already.
Oh, okay. Oh, just on this printout.
I printed out the wrong ones.
So,
Okay, because that's what I already put in.
Okay.
I saw that. Now I just got my eye again because I'm like, I didn't get caught.
Okay, but it has the apostrophe, just
Yes.
capital B. Okay.
I know that because kids has to write her a letter every week.
What bullet point is that?
so I
One F?
yeah,
Okay.
it's right on the website
Okay.
what I posted.
Okay.
So
I'm
okay.
just gonna note it here.
So, I will entertain a motion to approve the March minutes. So,
The motion.
who's first?
Oh, well, I guess
Rainy?
I'm first.
I'm trying to jump in a second.
Okay, I'll put Karen motion and
Rainy.
Ramey for seconding.
Yeah. So, all in favor of approving the March minutes?
Aye.
Okay, no one is against. Okay, so reports of officers. So, Kristen, the treasurer, couldn't be here, so I have her report. And there is a copy of the updated budget for anyone interested. Okay, so the playground equipment has been ordered. A buddy bench for the lower playground and a wakeboard and 3 spring pods for the upper playground. The spinners we were interested in were not approved by the district, so we had to pick something else. The total for those items is $2,542. Flash fundraiser raised $2,264. Adding to that the T fundraiser of $279 and the NMPTA grant of $200, we raised $2,616. So we just covered all the playground equipment. So yay! Thank you, everybody.
And we were able to get something that was
Okay,
approved.
so
Could you say the spinners weren't approved, but you found something that approved?
Yeah.
So they look like, I don't have a picture of those. I have a picture of the other
Yeah.
part. But it looks like, so this is the big piece.
Right.
Which is the climbing wall, which is essentially will replace the existing structure, but it's a little bit bigger. And then the board is kind of it looks like a skateboard, surfboard kind of thing. That's kind of a
The kids
balance
will love
wiggly
that.
kind of thing. And the spring pods are the same thing. There's 3 of them. And so they can step from one to where else they can stand and kind of wiggle and bounce. And so
Why was the spinners not? Because we already had stuff
you
like
know
that?
what? Aspen has one that they had a lot of trouble with, had some injuries on.
Okay.
And then there was some question about installation and the space that we had, and the district, the facilities people just really were not happy with the results.
It sounds like what you ordered sounds kind of
And
neat.
so these are kind of stable, not a lot of working mechanisms to go wrong, but they're for 9 through 12-year-olds, so they're for bigger kids, the little spring pods, so they're not like little springy things. So we think kids like them, and he mapped it out, so they'll all go into that same place, and the existing swing set will still be there. And so this will go kind of where the existing equipment is, and then the spring pod's kind of out to the side, and the wakeboard over here, kind of. So it all, he had it mapped out nicely, so it all
Okay.
kind of fits. And everything's bright primary colors, it'll all be eye-catching and kind of blend.
Yay.
Do you have, because I asked Kristen, I don't think she had images for the wakeboard and spring.
I know, that's what I was just telling her, I don't,
Okay.
and she's got the catalog.
Okay.
And so I don't have, I can try to.
Well, when we get some images, then we'll post them for people to see. And
Yeah, do we have an estimate of when they'll install them?
No, I've got to email them with me. So the district, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I'll go ahead and give you.
Oh,
here.
sorry.
The district purchased the big piece. And so that was a total of 10,000, it was right at 10,000. With installation, it was right at that $9,000 dollars for the big piece
Okay.
and installation. And so they're going to ship, that includes shipping. So they're shipping the pieces PTA ordered. He combined our orders.
Okay.
So essentially the district paid for the big piece and the shipping and the installation. And then the PTA purchased the other pieces and they'll add them. But we don't know how long till they get here. And so I did email him today and ask you, told him to let me know as soon as he didn't have one from the distributor yet. And so as soon as he gets an approximate date that he'll have the equipment, they'll deliver. And they'll deliver directly here to Mountain, and the company is going to do the installation. And so that's one of the insurance requirements is that they have to do the installation. And actually, this guy has been very pleasant to work with. Gave us an excellent cost. I mean, much, much cheaper than the original estimates. And then he gave a huge discount on installation. They're installing everything for a huge discounted price. And he threw in the sign that they require for insurance that labels each piece of equipment and what age is compliant or it's recommended for, totally for free. And so
He's being so nice.
yeah, so he really, after all said and done, I think he's worked with, it's been such a long
Yeah.
process. But I think when we finally got to the point where we said, we're going to pay you for something today, and he was kind of happy to say yes, pay for something. And so hopefully, I don't know how long stuff like that takes to ship or make. And then I asked Kristen, I said, did he give you any idea? But he did confirm that he's received the district purchase order and he's gotten everything from you guys. So they were all set on their end, and he was on purpose combining it all as one order because that just saves us cost. Okay.
do you want to just complete your report and then I'll go back to Kristen's?
Sure.
Okay.
That's what was my main thing. I wanted to make sure everybody could see the playground equipment, and I will find pictures of the other. We're at that fast time of year. I'm going to send a notice out to parents today. We will be park testing April the 18th through the 29th. And I will send down a schedule so all the parents have the exact days and times by grade level.
You said 18th?
18th, April 18th. I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold stuff. And I will send down a schedule via email today to all the parents so you know exactly which grade levels, what times. The park testing is shorter. You may remember last year that we had the window before spring break in March, and then we had the window about this time of year. It was just really long. So we essentially tested up until spring break, and then we came right back and started testing again. So they've eliminated that. We didn't do that spring window. We're only doing this end of the year, those last 2 weeks in April. They reduced the testing time. So each grade level has one less test, which is good. So we're anxious to see, they've also made revisions to the test. So we're anxious to see how it goes. We're expecting it to go well. Our biggest challenge last year was the technology piece. And so the technology piece was a huge challenge for us. We had kids that were thrown off. This year, we did a trust run, and we did not experience a single technology error. And last year we went first in the testing, they had us go first because they wanted us, they wanted to test the infrastructure. This year, we are not going first. Los Alamos Middle School started today, and 2 other schools start next week. And so we're kind of going middle of the pack. So we're confident if there were any issues that came up, but also the district purchased a new server because part of our problems, from my understanding, were caching issues. In other words, issues with our computers talking with the park computers all the way across the country. And so now everything's stored and updated instantly on our servers and then uploaded to theirs. And so it eliminates that log on, log off. So we're optimistic that things will go much smoother this year. That is the big thing we've got coming up. And I think that's it. The elementary speech contest is April the 14th. We hope to still do the family picnic. We still plan for the 18th. Elementary track meet is also May 18th. And I'll send all those dates out to parents. Teacher Appreciation Week, I know you're going to talk more about. We plan to do staff appreciation the first week in May. And we will start kindergarten roundup this Wednesday, as you guys know. Yeah. Yay! And I think that is the bulk. If there's only 8 weeks left, it's going to go fast.
That was 8. I told her right by this morning. Oh, just rounding down.
Is there anything else you guys have any questions about or that's come up among the parents that we should address?
Something that's come up, and I don't know if it's supposed to be a restaurant or there's supposed to be a staff.
But most of those are rumors.
Okay, so I was going to say that's the only thing I hear.
It is,
People talking about on the footnote.
we are going to have, so Jane Rust, and it's not secret, has decided she is not retiring, but she is kind of semi-retiring. She wants to change roles. And so rather than being a full-time teacher, she is going to go to reading and be one that work with just as a reading instructional assistant. So she will be leaving the 2nd grade. Alicia Kirkland is going to be taking her place. So Alicia Kirkland is currently our positive support program teacher, special education. So that's
Sorry, can you say her name one more time?
Alicia Kirkland.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I had pneumonia over the break.
Break, you got a cold.
Oh, I think it went
But
around.
it was nice that we had time to sit. So currently our positive support program, special education, our behavior program job is posted. And so we will be interviewing and filling that position. And Mrs. Kirkland's very excited to go to general classroom. She's got tons of experience. Yeah, she's a good choice. And Jane will still be here in the building. She's just going to work in a different role and support me. So we're really excited that we were able to keep her in that regard, that she's just not at work, because she's a fabulous teacher. And I mean, we've really kind of hit the jackpot to get her expertise there. And so other than that, there have been rumors that Megan Brown was moving, and the movie man was there. Her,
Such a small town.
It's on a cul-de-sac.
yeah, he did take a job in Littleton, and she is still undecided on what she's going to do. She has not resigned. She has not quit. She's still very much, she owns a house here and has a job here. So she's very much on the fence. I know many of you husbands may work with Hannah's husband, Mrs. Miller, also in 2nd grade. They're potentially looking at him working on his PhD. And so she is potentially taking a leave of absence. But again, that's another thing, that she doesn't have anything signed on the dotted line. And they're also still looking at their option. I mean, because that's not something necessarily that she may quit and go for. And so the moving van on Megan Street, I think, is what started a lot of rumors, but she doesn't really care. We completely expect to have 3 kindergartens. We had heard lots of rumors from, we were only having 1, 2, we were having 4. Our numbers are pretty much where they normally are this time of year. We fully expect to have 3 again. I think that we have already 35 pre-registered, which is a pretty good amount. for before rapid. And so we expect those numbers to be the same. So we expect our staffing numbers to stay essentially the same. And the changes that we're going to have will be essentially with second grade and behavior support program.
And the fourth grade teacher who's not going to equipment is staying
She's
for
staying.
next year. That's
Yes,
good.
so, yes. And her name's Kayla Richardson. And we're really pleased with, she's doing a really good job.
Her kids like her.
Yeah, she's a very good, she's worked with Bernadette for the last 2 years, Mrs. Shomack, so she's had some excellent training. So, yeah, so we don't expect any changes. I don't expect any changes in any other grade level.
And the only other thing I've heard folks talking about is last year we had to bring a bunch of papers to kindergarten roundup for the last few years and we're on third.
So that's
the
actually,
conversation Smith.
that's actually a good question. No, so here's with the whole district, and this is going to affect everybody because everybody's going to have to do it in August. The middle school and the high school, the last couple of years, all the middle school and high schools have built the registration stuff online through a thing called Family ID. And so if you've got a high school kid, maybe you guys do, if you've got a high school kid, what you did is you went on and you filled out all of your name, your emergency contacts, your permission to publish, all of the piles of paperwork you guys get the first week. All that's done online. This year they're bringing that down through to the elementary school. It'll be with a company called SNAP, S-N-A-P-I-D. We were told this morning that they are going to have that ready to roll out on Wednesday for our kindergarten registration. So for kindergarten, we're going to actually have paper forms available, but we are going to have computers on hand and instructions for people to enroll to fill out their stuff at home. So the answer to you is potentially probably not. We're going to have backup forms just in case. For everyone else school-wide, the answer will definitely be no. So in years past, when you get that big mass of all of that information going home that first day of school, that you have to fill out for all 6 kids, over and over.
Yellow card.
The nice thing about Snap ID is it'll automatically import. So you make an account for your family, then you add each kid and it's going to populate your address for everybody. It's going to populate and you can self-tailor your information. So the couple of exceptions are we're still going to have verified proof of residency, and we'll have to upload an immunization record, and the kindergarten health history form. But beyond that, because that you have to speak to your physician. But for the rest of the population, we think it's going to be a nice change because you'll have a password at home. So for example, if you get a new cell phone number, you'll be able to log on and update that information. And it goes instantly. Snap ID imports automatically to PowerSchool. Well, automatically when they tell it to. But that means that everything in PowerSchool, right now, physically, our secretaries have to go in and hand in all the information. And so they just look at the white cards and they literally hand in the information. And so we're really excited that that's all going to import. Then hopefully the next year, all you'll have to do is update your information and update, and it should save you guys lots of time. So for kindergarten roundup Wednesday, we think, yes, we plan to have computers on hand and instructions to give parents, but we also have forms for handoffs. So we're going to kind of take a dual approach, and if someone prefers to do the paperwork.
Now that it's all digital, maybe they could start implementing, like, just the youngest brings home all the papers throughout the year, or the oldest. I've seen that in other districts.
We've actually been discussing that, and we think that that's just going to really enable us to better be able to do that.
The youngest, I think.
It's usually the youngest.
Because I just saw the carried up form thing. The youngest lets you go into the binder a little bit more.
Yeah, and we want to really.
That'd be really cool.
We'll work on that. We want to really continue to advertise. So overwhelmingly, one of the things we got back from the surveys last year that the parents completed was we sent too much paperwork home. They hated it. They were getting too much flyers and, just backpacking every day for every kid. And so that's one of the things the district's really worked on this year is putting everything online. And so it's been a little bit bumpy. It's been an adjustment because all of those organizations rely on that as a way to get their thing out. So just retraining parents to go to that website and have, ideally, for those of us with high school kids that never see anything home or 6th graders, it's a great source for me to be able to go to one spot and know everything that I didn't see is there. But we're still learning. I mean, we're still retraining parents, but we do hope that there's no plans to change that. The district is updating and changing their website. And so you'll see a new look to the website roll out about June. And there'll be links for the registration. And then mass emails will go out to all the families, reminders, hey, this is directions, how you do it, log on and register your kids. And then we'll have a learning curve. So we'll do a lot of calling and giving parents directions, and the secretaries have that capability to go and do it.
You sent out an email, I think, that the last day of school is May 25th.
That Wednesday stuff.
That Wednesday, you mentioned, so that is solid with no snow makeup. So.
Definitely. So elementary students have enough contact hours that the elementary students do not have to make up the snow day. So the May 23rd, 24th, and 25th will all be half days with 12 o'clock dismissals, and the kids do not have to come to school on Thursday. The teachers have to come to work now on Thursday. And so that was a contractual issue. The teachers were short one contract day after that snow day.
And it's different for middle school and high school?
Middle school and high school. Middle school, I do not believe has to make up the time. High school does, because they were short contact hours, but they've already adjusted their final schedule to take care of that.
Okay.
And so I believe that they just bumped it back a day. And that Thursday will be their makeup day. But yeah, the high school students do.
And you're going to do 6th grade graduation on
Wednesday at 10
Wednesday.
o'clock. Wednesday the 25th at 10 o'clock.
Sorry, that's 6th grade graduation.
Yes, at
Okay.
10 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yes. And you know what? We had a huge overwhelming, that was a change that they made last year.
Yes.
But every other elementary school in the district does it on that morning, at that same time
They normally had in
in the evening. We got an overwhelmingly positive response to that. We had a couple of people that didn't like it.
Okay.
But I would say 97% of the parents reported back that they preferred it that way. And they liked not to come back.
If I remember correctly, from the years past, the PTA helped with some sort of party. Is that a party-ish graduation cake?
I believe you guys have a couple $100 budgeted for 6th grade graduation.
Yes.
And in the past, you guys provided, last year they were cupcakes, but you guys provided cake and punch. Or some sort of treat.
I think one of the teachers ordered it with the money. Do they want us to order it, or they?
No, I think that's what they did. We have a 6th grade graduation. The teachers are gonna send out an email for any parents that are interested in helping.
Okay.
And they're gonna meet with those parents. And I think last year they just had a parent that volunteered to do decorations, and a couple that volunteered to do, that, and someone volunteered to do the cake, and then they turned in a receipt. If that's okay with you guys. Is that your preference?
Yeah.
I guess in 6th grade rep.
There you go.
I just like, who is a 6th grade parent? Oh, wait, that's me. So I guess I'll be turning in the receipts with some other parents who might be helping.
Yeah, I would just talk with the teachers and see.
Yeah, but I think that they had about 12 or 15 parents that wanted to help with that. So I think there'll be lots of help.
Okay, because I guess, great.
And we'll keep
I can just have
it. Yes. Anything else?
I'll just ask, are the blinds all taken care of now?
Good question. The blinds are all ordered. And so again, I don't know. She will let me know when the company notifies her that they're shipping, and then they will do installation. We're probably not going to install. We probably will install the main building as soon as we can. New windows that are uncovered, but in the teachers' classrooms, we're replacing some of the broken blinds. Those we probably will not install until June. We have 2 classrooms that'll be getting new carpet this summer. Other than that, we don't really have a lot of big projects. We're going to do kindergarten safety time here at Mountain again, but this year they are opening it up district-wide for registration. And so with each kindergarten roundup on Wednesday, they'll get information about how to register, and the parents can register online. But that was a nice program. So that's June 13th through the 24th. Yes.
The 13th through the
24th. So other than that, I don't expect any big projects. There is some chance that the district may enclose the 400 wing that's by Mrs. Schaefer's room. But I haven't received any official, yes, we're gonna do this, or no, we haven't met with an architect, we haven't done any, they started the middle school that was one of the 3 projects the district approved. They've started the middle school cafeteria project first. So I don't really know in the grand scheme of things where our construction.
Oh, they're gonna redo the middle school cafeteria. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they didn't have them.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, so I don't know, but so other than that, we're not expecting any big projects like we had last summer, where they redid the drainage and the gym and the parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting that.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Okay, I'll go back to the treasurer's report. So, the 5th grade boys science day, last time we had voted to, I think we voted to cover the cost, but then Mrs. Guy found a grant to cover that
So with the Lennell Foundation.
from the Lano
Covered
Foundation.
that and the cost for the girls' transportation.
And Kristen said that you're waiting to hear back about a grant for the 6th grade spring ropes
We're gonna
course.
get $1,500 towards that. And we're getting that from the JJAC, Juvenile Justice Advisory Board. And so it will supplement your cost pretty significantly.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because it's almost the cost of it.
This is for the one they're going on in
So they're
May,
going on
for
in
the
May.
high ropes course.
Okay.
And so there was an opportunity that came up just right the week before spring break, and the Juvenile Justice Advisory Board came by. They said, is there anything? They were looking specifically for team building type, community building activities. I said, oh, that's like spring ropes. And they passed it and they approved it.
Great.
And so $1,500, we shall be getting a check from both organizations.
Okay. Great. And okay, Mad Money receipts are coming in. I don't know if you could let the teachers know this. The deadline for reimbursement is Friday, April 15th, because I know she wants to handle that to handle that before she leaves. Oh, okay.
I emailed the teachers, the deadline multiple times. They will get it again. Their deadline to spend building money, district money, was the Friday before spring break.
Oh, okay.
The deadline for you guys is the 15th.
Uh-huh.
And I agree with Kristen that you need a firm cutoff date,
Yeah.
just so that you know what's rolling over.
Okay, great. The book fair's coming up. We'll be getting the volunteer sheet for that out. Let's see.
That'll probably be online, right?
Okay, this is for later.
And I'm talking too much. That's why you guys something about book fairs.
Uh-huh.
So Mrs. Pittman and I don't know how to do book fair,
Uh-huh.
so we'll need help.
I talked to her a little bit before she left.
Good. No idea how to do book fair. I've never done book fair before. I don't know, like I said. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not, you guys have always done it. And so, yeah. we need some help.
I don't know all the ins and outs of communicating with Scholastic, but I know basically what happens once they
It's-
send the stuff.
I think it's weird because it's already reserved in order, so we have got to.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Emails and like arrival dates, so it'll be here for sure, like the trucks are scheduled to deliver. But then we were like, we don't really know what to do. It's delivered. So, we're thinking about, but we may need to rely on you guys for help. Or we know of anybody that's done book fairs, or that typically volunteers.
We can find
Yeah.
Jenny McCumber. She can't be that far.
Well, I think Tiffany Hinojosa was the one that worked with
Yeah, she's always
for a
volunteered.
long time. Last year, she
Tiffany
didn't
Hinojosa.
help, but before that, for several years.
She's always been a salesperson.
Well, I told you all I knew, and I did it before Tiffany's.
Okay.
Oh.
I already told you.
And then the other thing we didn't know about Big Fair is this the one that The spring one's the one that's our responsibility, and
No, this
We
is the
keep it.
PTA
this
one.
one's yours, the fall one.
Fall one is the schools.
Okay, we weren't sure.
And I explained to Mrs. Pittman that we take some of the profit in scholastic dollars to reserve for the reading team for the reading night.
Perfect.
So it just sits there in the account. Okay. Let's see. Kristen's other things were the logo contest was announced before spring break, and as far as we know, Mrs. McElroy is still going to do something in class for the third to fifth graders. And the deadline for that is May 2nd, and I'll have to put that on the website and other places. Okay, so from treasurers to president's report. I have things under new business, so Julia, oh, okay. We did the principal's report. It's okay. I assume we don't have any new members.
No new
No new
members.
members. Okay, so the new business, we already did the results of the fundraiser. I mentioned the logo contest. I've been trying to get the word out about the Most Likely to Succeed film. It's going to be shown this Friday, Sunday, and next Friday. And there's information on the PTA website. And I've been letting friends not at Mountain know, and a lot of them haven't heard about it. So if you have friends at other schools, let them know about it. So, okay, should we elect the new officers? So,
Well,
So-
I have two questions
uh-huh.
before going on.
Yeah.
I didn't see the sixth grade graduation budget amount on the treasury report.
So we'll have
Line
to
item.
ask Kristen about that.
And then the others, so the question I just couldn't see. I saw sixth grade ropes course.
But it
And
may be that she had it like at her food. I mean, really, like
Yeah.
you guys do just,
I just want to make sure that we don't, if we have that accounted for somewhere, and sometimes she understands it better than.
Yeah,
So
it
just
might
check
be
on
like
that.
in the food.
It might be in the family breakfast, dinner, picnics type thing, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
The other
we'll
thing is,
ask.
we have the learning landscapes, $200 line item. And that normally ties in with Clean Up Los Alamos, which I think is April 30th.
Kim Clayton's gonna head that up again, and she has registered us and gotten gloves and things. And
Okay, I love when Kim Clayton only does the third grade area. We need to make sure the whole school, well, not just because there's beds over there by the gym that always get forgotten, except for when we had one of the fifth grade teachers took care of it, but she moved on now. And then all the kindergarten teachers and first and second grade, their beds, we like to have parents.
So we should advertise that really heavily so we get a couple of parents to volunteer to help. And that-
Yeah, because Miss Clayton gets all the third grade kids here, which is awesome, but they have a big spot back there, and they need all that help back there, so we make sure all the kids. So
What day is it?
it's Saturday, April 30th.
So are you planning to be there? or
I will
you don't know?
definitely be here, but I'll kind of meet and greet and get people squared away if they want to ask questions about how to.
That's the third and fourth grade Lion King performance that afternoon too. So that might take out some of the kids.
We do. I think it's in the morning.
It's usually the
Okay.
morning.
It's the mornings, and they give us bags and gloves and stuff.
And
You have to sign
everything
a
that she said
waiver.
that she planned for 30 is what she planned to.
Okay.
And so we'll do an email blast and put that out April the 30th. And have a request for a couple of parents that are wanting to head up outside of third grade from other grade levels.
Yeah.
Their side. So we can come in six maybe,
Yes.
and then that way, see that shows up.
Anybody shows up, anybody shows up, and we get it. I know Miss Altera typically shows up and prunes or helps out with some pruning and stuff.
Well,
Clean up
last
trash.
year, I think I came and maybe with Mrs. Rust worked on the lower grade
Miss Russ
boxes.
always actually, she does a wonderful job. in her
Yeah.
garden area too. And Mr. Johnson too, he's available.
Okay, we'll get started advertising.
Sorry, I didn't want that part
Okay.
to get fixed because I think
Okay.
that's before next PTA
She
meeting.
told me to put it on the agenda.
I didn't remember until I saw it on your budget.
Okay, so Julia, who's this year's secretary, will not be able to run for vice president for next year, because she'll be going to a different school.
We're moving to Bronca.
So we still need to find a new vice president candidate. But in the meantime, I think we proceed with the election of the other offices that we have candidates for. So we have one candidate for each office. So we have Karen Henderson has agreed to run for president. And then we have Allie Renner running for treasurer and Remy Slaz running for secretary. So when there's only one candidate running, we don't need to do written ballots or anything. I think we just do the hand vote. Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, can
I think we do them each separate.
each separate? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think it makes it easier
for
next time.
clarity.
Yeah, next time if one person is changes.
Okay. Okay, so all in favor of voting for Karen Henderson as president for next year? Congratulations. And then, all in favor of voting for Allie Renner as treasurer? Congratulations, it's unanimous.
It's pretty good.
And then all in favor of voting, electing Remy Salas as secretary? Yay, unanimous. So, ask around your friends who you want to work with for vice president.
Is there anybody else that often comes to PTA meetings? Because I'm feeling like this was my first PTA meeting when I was elected an officer. So I'm feeling a little like I don't know what I'm doing. But is there anybody who's been involved in PTA that just hasn't stepped up?
A lot of them did it for a lot of years,
Right.
and several of them have graduating kids. But there's a whole new group of people that could come and do it.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, there usually are
There
people
like
that
four
attend.
families, 4 people normally have here, and the teachers are sometimes.
I just didn't know.
I just
if there
out of
was-
curiosity, we can have a teacher as officer, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're a
We don't have
member.
enough to-
If they're a member, correct.
So we will send out a mass parent email too and say. we're
Yeah.
looking for a
But I'm with you. Like the more knowledge you can have is great. Because last year we had 4 totally new people, and it was rough. So
Well, you know,
you know what you're doing.
I don't know if I know what I'm doing.
I know what, like,
As in,
fourth grade
some of the
moving, visiting,
fundraisers.
and, you know, I don't really come back and visit for meetings.
Yeah.
Well,
But
and
I
I'll
was
still
also-
be around.
But I was also thinking, you know, it was, I had seen that you guys were looking for a treasurer, but I did not jump at it. But the fact that you emailed me
Uh-huh.
personally and asked
Yeah.
made it
Yeah.
a lot more likely for me to say yes. And so I
I
was just
think you're
thinking
right
if there
about
was-
that. Because when Jane actually asked me personally in
Yes.
the email, would you please be vice president? I couldn't say no.
Right.
I need to be.
There you go.
No, but you need to find people you want to work with.
Well, I don't, I mean, I'm so
So-
new still, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I just have a kindergartner. This is my first year here, so I don't really know that many.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the other kindergarten parents tend to have the smaller kids and so aren't necessarily out of jail. Sorry, is that inappropriate? You know, I mean, they're not
Yeah,
as free.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, most of my, I
Right,
know
you're
all the
the-
old, I'm at the older
Who knows
spectrum.
third grade?
Well, and we may have some teachers
Third
that
graders.
might have some luck. I think being treasurer was kind of daunting. You
Yeah.
know, it was another
I think a
person.
VP would
But
be a
I think
nice.
that we may have some that have some good recommendations, so positive notes to the teachers too, to kind of scope out their class. And I wondered if from our PTA class representatives, we may take a look at that list for those that were willing to volunteer in that capacity. Maybe a good source for someone that would be willing
they've already indicated that they had time available and willing to do the
Right.
meetings, they may be willing to
Yeah,
take on
it's a good idea.
And it's true, the vice president doesn't sound too intimidating.
No, because it's like a helper role.
Yeah.
What's the breakdown between president, vice president? Like, is vice president more fun runs or?
No, it's not.
It was more of a support role. What do you want me
Yeah.
to help you do, Jay, today? Oh, I can check, I'm not a signer on the check, so I check the bank account that she's not
The
taking money or
statements.
Kristen's not taking money, because I'm not a signer on the account. That's the one role that I always do.
Speaking of that, I don't know if now's an appropriate time to ask about the PTA, the meeting in Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah, actually, Kristen had that on here. So in May, the New Mexico PTA has a conference, and it's a great training for officers, and it's also any member can attend also. There's a lot of good information. I went last year. So Kristen said that you need to sign up for yourself, and she will be happy to write the check for the registration portion as soon as you do. And please do it as soon as possible. Prices go up on April 18th.
What's the date?
The
It's May
4th
6th and 7th.
of May.
And so, what I was curious about, so I had heard that you just have to go for like one day, right?
Yeah.
Because really, I would like the treasurer training.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
appropriate.
Uh-huh.
Like, I get that, I'll learn how to not embezzle money. That's basically the gist.
Pretty much said it all was.
Yeah, that's what she said, just teaching you how to not buy a flat screen TV with PTA this morning, which I'm pretty good at.
They did have some good training too that's useful up here where everyone's kind of related or knows each other, of like rules about hiring vendors and
Right.
it can't be your brother-in-law, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
No, and that's great. And so and also just like what are appropriate uses of PTA funds,
Yeah.
I need to sort of learn everything.
Yeah. They have a lot of good,
Yeah, and
they
so I
run
was
through all that.
sort of curious about, what day, I guess the treasurer training
I think
available
that-
either day?
I think there's a schedule online.
When you
So
register,
register.
look at this.
Look at the schedule and then pick what day and then you can get a bunch.
Yeah. it'll show you.
I'm not sure if 100% I can go right now because I don't have a full-time paying W-2 job, but I volunteer too much in different areas.
I see my future.
And so I'm a volunteer swim coach,
Uh-huh.
and there's a swim meeting out there that weekend,
Um,
but it might not go, so it depends on how that goes.
Just plan on being in Albuquerque,
Yeah, so-
either for the.
So I can't
Last
determine
year,
what time,
it
but
was, we went on a weekday.
it's a
we
Friday, Saturday.
We went
thing.
Friday.
Okay.
I think
We
the year
went
before I
Friday.
did Saturday and they
Yeah, so it's a Friday, Saturday conference, I think.
Yeah.
Can do Friday, but I can't do Saturday. But I
Okay,
should check the schedule and make sure that Friday's.
right, so if
Yeah.
there's a,
If it-
if there's training for you and I on.
Yeah, they have everything
On
the
those
same
days?
day.
Okay, so then maybe we could
Okay.
coordinate Friday and then I can get someone to watch my kids when I'm not back. And then, 'cause Saturday.
A lot of it happens is like whining and dining and meeting other people.
Oh, we don't.
So you can
do
skip
that.
out on that. That's for like the Albuquerque people that are gonna run for an MPTA.
No,
So,
no, no.
yeah,
Oh,
so
I
think,
see what you're saying.
yeah, I think about 4 o'clock is when everything, the sessions kind of stop and then
Yeah.
it's like cheese and,
Yeah.
wasn't it like
Yeah, and
social
speeches
and stuff like that?
So it's just the meat of the daytime. You need to,
Okay,
you know.
so maybe we can
Yeah.
coordinate it, and then if you happen to find a VP
Yeah, it
before,
would be good for you to go.
especially if it's someone, well, I was gonna say not in this room, like my children, or you're looking for another job.
Right now, she-
Okay.
They moved here this year.
Okay.
Who is it?
Her kids she's on the board and he's on the school board. She used to be on the school board.
And they transferred here.
Okay.
So they were here all, but she might be good. Because she's done school board and she's done.
Into the registration fees for that.
April, yeah.
Yeah.
We have someone for you when Max goes to kindergarten, someone he's in, at Little Forest with. She's your quintessential Pinterest PTA mom. Would you not say? She gets stuff done. She was like my right-hand woman on, I did Fall Fiesta.
Oh,
Yes, you're all over Carnival.
No.
I'm so
No,
excited.
I almost got divorced after Fall Fiesta. But so excited. No, obviously, I'll help with Carnival. But yeah, no, we did Fall Fiesta and Julie was.
Oh, you just need to be
right.
treasurer for Carnival. That's very important.
Yeah, I'm good kind of
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, that's very important.
Okay,
Good.
so can we
this
move on?
sounds good.
Good, thanks for coming with
So I want to get to, before we run out of time, we have one educational grant request. It is the 30 book challenge incentives for third grade. It is for all third graders, approximately 65 students. And the amount is not to exceed $75. And I believe they ask for this every year.
What was it for? 75 for?
$75.
Oh, the 30 book challenge.
30 book challenge incentives. So they are for charms, and charm chains.
Oh, yeah, the kids get a,
Every time they get a little bit, every
Yes.
time they get one of their bits, they get a little.
yeah, it's really nice. And the kids like it, except for my kid has only read 5. But anyway.
Okay, so these chains and charms will be used as incentives for the 30 book challenge and for math facts fluency for all of third grade. We have been doing this program for the last 3 years, and the students like to be recognized with a small token for each milestone reached. So this grant is for ones that will be used for next school year, 2016 to 17. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because they start right off at the beginning, the second week of school. So it's kind of exciting.
So if there are any questions about it,
I think we should.
can we, I will entertain a motion.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
We will have a
Second it.
Okay, so we have a second. So all in favor of approving the 30 book challenge incentives educational grant? It's unanimous, thank you. Okay, so I'll just mention, we talked about kindergarten roundup. We'll be helping with the spring book fair, which is in a couple weeks, and that week is also family reading night. That's on Tuesday the 19th. And that's about it. And Mrs. Guy mentioned that we can have popsicles for the family
We just need
picnic.
to notify the parents ahead of time and part of the advertising.
So we just need to make sure that parents are notified. So, okay, and then the last meeting of the year for the PTA will be Monday, May 4th at 12:10.
I have a quick question
Uh-huh.
on the reading. Food for family reading night, how much do you guys have budgeted? Do you know? Off the top of your head during meeting.
Well, it looks like it says 1,000, but that's
No,
not.
that's for
food.
every, no, that was for books.
It's part of the food budget, is that right? Do you want me to see Kristen?
Yeah, because I thought maybe we weren't
I don't think she was
paying
paying
for
for
food because it's not for all students. That it's after an out of school event.
And that's something like these I talked about. So that's something we may want to put on the agenda to talk about for the future meeting.
Uh-huh.
Because the teachers, because you guys have asked me to put that back to the teachers if they wanted to charge for food that night. Or do
Oh,
something else. And
Uh-huh.
teachers, every single one of them overwhelmingly did not want to do that. And they still wanted to really foster, just because it's a community event, they feel like it fosters, that school spirit, that camaraderie, and they want parents.
Well, at the math
That's
night, we
what-
didn't charge
And-
food.
Math, no,
We
and they want
We
to
Pay for
continue.
But we didn't pay for
food.
that.
I
food.
paid, so my understanding, and I'll email Kristen to clarify, is that we were paying for math and food, you guys were paying for reading night food. And so we've kind of, in the past, you guys had kind of paid part of both.
You'll
I'm
have
just looking
to,
at this.
you'll have to
It's
talk
$1,000
to
budget.
Kristen about,
And
that was for books. That $1,000 was for,
Well, I was just looking at family math night. It looks like
oh,
$350. $1,000.
So,
but we reallocated that money.
and I'll email her.
It's complicated, but I think we
Yeah,
have
in
more
the
money than
past-
we know
In the
because.
past, we have paid
Sounds
for
like a
food, but
portal
Kristen did
television.
mention
No,
something.
actually,
that
I
there
do
wasn't
honestly think the
right
way
to
we
do-
relocated
to
some
do
money
for-
to pay
yeah.
for some playground equipment.
Uh-huh.
But we got money from these grants, we got money from Jib Jab now for road course. We got the armchair fundraiser money to pay for the playground. We never actually took money out of our account. So theoretically, and the way the money goes, we do have money to pay for food for
Well,
family
and you
meeting.
guys had
We just need to make sure it's it's put in, that we're approving it, and
well, and you guys.
because we did take it out.
For math night, at family, and at the time, because we didn't know how your fundraising efforts were gonna go, the school paid for all of it for math night. But we can't afford to pay for all of the food for both nights, and so we do need PTA's continued support with those nights.
It
And the
seems-
staff does not want to charge, they felt very strongly about it.
But it seems like there was a principle behind her not wanting
Yeah,
to be
it wasn't a
anymore
money
because-
issue.
I don't think
It
it's a
was
money
some
issue.
sort of
Yeah, I think we do have the
issue.
money. I think there's some principal issue that Kristen has that gets paid.
I think it was how many kids it was serving, that not all of the kids were being served by it. Then all of the kids could, I mean, the option was
Everybody,
there
I was gonna say,
to be
everybody's
there,
invited.
so.
And that's not a valid
So,
statement because it's open to the school-wide and community. So we can't say that we're not supporting the whole school. Everybody's invited.
Right, that's what I
And
said.
everybody's family's
Yeah.
invited. So we can't say that it's not open for the, it's,
Well, it's not the same as paying for food, like for family breakfast, which is during school.
School hours.
Yeah, it's outside of school hours. That's the issue.
it's a school-sponsored event.
How much money are we talking about?
You got, in the past, it was kind of the reason I'm trying to change it. In the past, you guys had done 500 and 500 for each event. And so the reason that was a little bit more complicated is because food, like for example, for math night was $852. So for you guys to do 500 and then for the school to do 300, we had to get two different receipts. And so then I said, well, hey, instead of splitting it out, it's going to be about the same for each one. Why don't the school just pay for all of this one? Then that way it can be one purchase order and then PTA do the other one. Which we're still happy to do. But we can visit that and discuss it. But it is something that the staff felt pretty strongly about. They really appreciated the continued support when asked to prioritize the top 3 things they would like for PTA to do. Reading and math night were their top 2. And so they appreciate those. I think that it's just such a community outreach event. It's one of the few times we have big turnouts. I mean, it's a nice opportunity to have the parents here and to kind of give back a little bit without it being a fundraising event and without it being, which is the reason they were really opposed to charging.
I don't remember what the food, I think I came to math
They're
night.
sandwiches.
Okay, because I was just remembering at the winter dance, it was just sort of this potluck, everybody
Yeah,
brought things.
yeah.
And we can't do a potluck, we have to cater
Okay,
because we're serving everybody, so to meet the food regulations.
okay,
So we have to either order,
but so the winter dance is different, why?
because, I don't know. Because we're not seeing the full nuts, finger foods, but. And we could go, one of the things, at the time though, when we were having all these discussions, you guys were really short on money. And so it's just something worth visiting, because
think
at
too,
this
if we're
point,
saying
I'm
it's a-
really short on money in our budget. And we can change, I mean, we're potential.
We want to
just
get,
do
I think we
snacks.
need to get Kristen's background knowledge on that decision of where the money, and I do think we do have the money, we just need to make sure that we fully understand how we can spend it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so the other option is if it's mainly that if we have the money, it's mainly that the PTA is not supposed to pay for food outside of school hours. Can we pay for something else for you? So that's, that we can legitimately pay for, and you don't have to, then you have more money to spend for the food,
Yeah, we can.
right?
Potentially.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what it was. I just know Kristen brought it up at the last meeting.
And I remember her talking to me about,
Yeah.
about some of that, about
And
how.
I think real quick, the difference between this and the winter ball
Yeah.
is that it's advertised as dinner for your family, so it has
It
to
is,
be
okay.
like nutritionally sound, where the dance
It's just snacks.
is just snacks.
Okay.
And probably technically, we're probably not supposed to serve.
Yeah.
You know, probably. But, we do need to look at that, look at it rather sooner rather than later, because my budget process closed out very quickly.
Okay.
The teachers, the districts already closed out, like potentially by the 15th of April. And so if we're gonna do, if I'm gonna have access to funds to be able to do that, or if we're gonna have to change it, the reading team started printing flyers. And so we need to
Right,
catch it and shake that off before then, and I need to communicate with that committee. Because my understanding is that we,
That person should be here after school.
yes, we'll catch it faster.
Okay, so, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz, she said.